Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sports Nation live from our studios at Nesson in Boston, Massachusetts. To my right, Reese Burns. To my left, Finn Summers. Let's get right into it here, guys. The Boston Red Sox are on a slump. They've lost a bunch of their last few games, and last night, Tanner Houck led in the winning run 7-6 against the Cleveland Guardians at home. Finn, talk to us. What's the feeling like in the city?
I mean, it's just kind of disappointment because last night we saw a guy named Bobby Dahlbeck, who's been one of the worst players on this team, hit two homers, driving 5 runs. Overall, great performance. And then for Tanner Houck, the one guy who's been consistent on this team, to come in and give up an 0-2 home run. Like, you can't leave a slider center of the zone to an MLB hitter. You're just going to hit it out. I mean, that's just horrendous.
Honestly, any pitch in the center of the zone is absolutely crazy. Reese, what do you have to say about the state of the Red Sox right now?
I'm just frustrated with this team. That's the only word I can say on camera at the moment. I'm just frustrated. You get a guy like Frankie Cordero, right? It's not a real first baseman, but he can play first. He was 0 for 4
Last night.
He was 0 for 4 tonight. Yeah, that's what I was going to get to that. He was 0 for 4 tonight. Gave up 3 errors. The mistakes are the biggest part of this team. Evaldi made 2 errors himself. Couldn't pick up the ground balls. The center fielders, they can't get to the ball right now. They're not fielding well. They're not hitting well. They need to get comfortable, right? It's a lot of young players, a lot of guys being moved around. Injuries are obviously playing a big part of this. I really just think that they need to get comfortable and get guys back from injury.
This is a team that has $90 million.
Excuse me a minute, Finn, but it looks like we have breaking news to the desk. Angels player Shohei Ohtani has been traded to the Baltimore Orioles in exchange for Trey Mancini and 3 prospects. Reese, what do we think?
I think that is definitely making the Baltimore Orioles a contender right now, even for the World Series. I know they lose Trey Mancini, but a guy like Shohei Ohtani, especially a guy who can pitch and hit, which is something they definitely need as a starting pitcher, Shohei Ohtani will definitely bring some facets to the game that the Baltimore Orioles desperately need, and is now their big power hitter. That is now their star player, and I definitely think that is making them a World Series contender.
I agree, Reese. Shohei Ohtani is a total game breaker. He can hit with the best of them, he can pitch with the best of them, and he can play in the outfield. I understand that the Orioles are losing Trey Mancini, but this is a guy and an opportunity that you just cannot pass up. This instantly opens up the Orioles to the chance at a World Series. Finn?
I mean, this is a great trade for the Angels and a bad trade for the Orioles. This is an Orioles team that, look, we saw in the AL East, super competitive division, but we thought the Orioles were going to be the one soft spot. But let me talk.
One at a time, guys. Finn, you have the floor.
The Orioles were a team that were not great, but then right before the All-Star break, like 20 games, they started to mesh. They started to come together as a unit. Their locker room started to buy in. And now they're taking their brightest player and one of their brightest future stars in Trey Mancini. They're giving up for Shohei Ohtani. Nothing against Shohei Ohtani. Great pitcher, great hitter. But I think Trey Mancini and 3 prospects is too much to ask for that. And I think if you're the Angels, that's a great trade because you're going to get a guy that you can probably lock up for 5 or 6 years after this and not have to pay him a crazy amount of money. And maybe one of these 3 prospects will pan out.
I completely disagree. Unless you're talking about the 3 prospects, Trey Mancini, he's about to be 30 years old. I think he's falling off right now. He's not having one of the greatest years. Shohei Ohtani is still young, and he definitely has more MVPs in his future. I don't see the Angels really getting anything besides this. So Trey Mancini becoming a good hitter, and he's a glue guy, great for the locker room. But besides that, I think the Orioles have won this in every facet possible.
I know that all you Bostonians can relate. This is like if Moneyball with Mark Wahlberg in it, I know that you guys love him, if it had gone differently. But, guys, we have to cut back to break, and then we will get right back to talking about your Boston Red Sox. See you in a few.